All right, so here's what Pam Bondi said last night.
You said last week that you have the Epstein Files on your desk. When can we see them, and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see hopefully tomorrow is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
What that man did. I think we're going to find out today, hopefully, that it wasn't just that man. What that man did was make services available for people of very high places, stature, and power to do the things that only in the darkest corners of depraved minds actually want to do. Now, the reason why we haven't seen this yet is because the truth it holds, it threatens to expose the rot that is eating away at the heart of our system. The rot that has been nurtured by those in power on both sides of the political aisle. I am guessing both sides are involved in this. And this is not about picking teams, red or blue, left or right. This is about right or wrong, good or evil. This is about justice, true, equal justice. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you were the president of the United States or you were a ditch digger. If you were involved in this, the hammer of justice needs to come to your life. Transparency. This is about the survival of a nation that was built on the promise that the people, not the elites, held the reins. The Epstein client list must come out, every name, every detail, unredacted, except to shield the victims. So why? Why does this matter? This is going to be feasted on by some as salacious or, yeah, we can finally get them. It should not be looked at that way. This is not about one man's crimes, or really several people who committed horrific crimes. This is about a system that has let the powerful skate free while the rest of us drown in consequences of their doings.
I had horrible pain in my hands. I had a hard time moving them. I could barely work with them. I couldn't write or type or anything. I tried everything. Then I found Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free supplement developed by doctors, and it's safe to take daily. It made a real impact for me and so many others. Try their 3-week quick start now, $19.95 at relieffactor.com.
Names like Bill Gates. If Bill Gates was doing things on those planes and on that island that are illegal, why is Bill Gates as powerful as he is? Why is he designing our food system? Why is he a man that is possibly this morally horrific? Why is he anywhere near the powers and the tools that guide our society? Bill Clinton, same thing. And who knows how many others. They have been protected. They have been insulated by a machine that thrives on secrecy. This is not a partisan issue. Both sides have their hands dirty and both sides have failed us. Even if they weren't on there, both sides should have been demanding that the names come out. The Clinton servers, why were they wiped clean? Why they use acid to burn all of the information off of those servers? What was on those servers? Why the cover-up? How about Benghazi? Our diplomats were there for some unknown reason, no logical reason for them to be there. Then they were abandoned by our military when when the military was begging, let us go in and save these people. They were left to die. And the full story is still buried and nobody wants to see. Why? Were we running guns to what became ISIS? My guess is, and it's a very well-educated guess, yes. While that was unfolding, Hillary Clinton and USAID, they were the ones that were pulling the strings in Libya. Remember? They were cackling as Gaddafi's body was dragged through the streets. I think actually he was alive for a while. And they cackled, we came, we saw, he died. Grotesque doesn't even begin to cover that attitude. Meanwhile, the Nord Stream pipeline exploded. Now, we're told that this was just a couple on a yacht, that took it out for a weekend and blew it. Everyone knows it would take someone that has the skill of the United States and possibly the United States alone to pull this off. This wasn't a couple of honeymooners that were just out there like, you know what, let's blow up the pipeline. It didn't happen that way. It was the largest environmental disaster in our history. And not our history, the history of all mankind. And yet, who's talking about that? Compare the reaction to the Exxon Valdez. Do you remember that? The headlines, the demand for accountability. We almost had Exxon shut down because people were saying it's too dangerous to have oil. The Exxon Valdez, remember the lawsuits? The cleanup? Nord Stream? Nah, nothing. It's almost as if people in power want us all to forget. Meanwhile, what are we doing as a society? I don't think we ever went to the moon. Oh, shut up. Shut up about that. That's a distraction. I am convinced that the whole thing about we never went to the moon is nothing but noise to keep us from asking the real, true questions, from demanding the truth on what actually matters. Who blew up Nord Stream? Who is on video molesting children in both Hollywood and with Epstein? And who has stopped this from coming out? Who is in bed with our enemies, with China? Look at the anti-Elon Musk rallies. We now, thanks to AI, can follow the money. I used to have a huge staff. It used to cost me $1 million a year personally just to be able to track down things like the Tides Foundation. I'm the only person that ever worked at Fox that lost money by working there because I wanted to find the truth. And 20 years ago, it was really hard. You had to do it almost all by hand. Now, we can follow the money. The anti-Elon Musk rallies, I told you from the beginning, those were most likely paid for by you, and they're not real. And I could say that because I know the history of the left. I know the history of our own government. You can tell because who are the people protesting, and they're saying that this is grassroots? Nobody cared about USAID. Nobody on either side. There isn't one single mom that's taken her kids to school and to the soccer field that's like, you know what I'm really upset about is USAID. Yeah, I'm going to go protest the closing of the USA. No. Well, now, because of AI, we can just track the money. What a shock. Those were all funded and fake movements bankrolled by the same crowd that are tied to all of the corruption in our government and perhaps those on the Epstein and Diddy list. Because I have a feeling we're going to find the same people over and over. Does any of this sound familiar? Like we've been here before? Because we have. Remember J. Edgar Hoover? Yeah, he wielded tremendous. He, by the way, was a cross-dresser, which who are you to judge? He wielded tremendous power. How did he do it? He had pictures, he had recordings, he had films, and he had the shadows. Well, now we all said, "Oh, we can't let that happen again." Nobody said anything while he was alive because he had secrets on everyone. But the minute he died, they're like, "We're going to stop that from happening again." Well, now it's not just one man. Now it's an entire elite class, proving time and time again, they only care about themselves. They don't care about you. They don't care about justice. They care about them. The disease that we are suffering under right now is not just about Epstein or Diddy or taped up perversions, although those videos do exist and we know it. We should ask the question, why haven't the names been released? Why are we all still in the dark? The system is built now to protect, enrich, and cover the crimes of the powerful. Robert Friend, who is an FBI whistleblower, he and another friend confirmed before Kash Patel stepped into the offices, they were shredding documents like they were preparing for Charles Lindbergh's ticker parade in the 1920s. Evidence has been destroyed. Tracks have been covered. This is what we're up against. That's why Trump is moving at the speed of light. He has to, because this is a machine that shields the guilty and mocks the rest of us. We're a nation right now, gang. We have stage 4 cancer. Is that the worst cancer you can have, or is it stage 5? Because we might have stage 8 cancer right now. It's all throughout our body of republic. It's government, banks, media, all of it. The patient, our republic, is on its deathbed. And we have two kinds of family members that are surrounding the patient on the bed. And they're all saying the same thing. "Oh, this is horrible. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Uncle Sam can't die on us now." But in that group of people around the deathbed, we have those who actually love the patient, not necessarily what they've turned into, but love the patient and don't want the patient to die. And then those who have been slowly poisoning his food and now in the room slipping a little mix into his IV when nobody's looking. We don't even know yet who to suspect. So let me show you the path to recovery for our dear Uncle Sam, who's not our uncle, and also wears striped pants. The only people I know that wear striped pants like that are people in prison. So let's not get all choked up about how great Uncle Sam is. He belongs in jail himself. But what he is supposed to represent is what's really at stake, really on the deathbed. So let me show you how we need to cure this. Okay, so if you have a loved one in the hospital and they have stage 18 cancer, what does the doctor come in and say? Doctor says, okay, for any chance for this patient to survive, radical surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, and perhaps even experimental drugs. Well, that might kill them. Yeah, the patient's dead anyway. Any chance of survival, radical steps need to be taken. We all know this because that's why we hired Donald Trump. Because we knew it would take radical steps to be able to save this patient. We have to cut the disease out, and we've got to do it now. You know, the hard reality is truth is our unum out of many, one. Not unity, not our diversity, but truth. Verifiable, unvarnished truth. That's the only thing that will set us free. But we've been too comfortable, too trusting, too willing to let the powerful run the show while we just sit back. If we want a government that answers to us, we have to continue to step up. Our rights come with duties. And I have shirked mine for far too long. But did Epstein kill himself? I don't know. It's really odd with a paper sheet, and it's more plausible than, faking the moon landing that somebody came in from the Clinton camp and killed him. Did we blow up Nord Stream? I don't know. Run guns to ISIS? I don't know. Spark the Arab Spring? Yeah. Topple governments and color revolutions in the last 20 years, all without you knowing it, but you paying for it? Yeah. Even revolutions like in Ukraine? Yeah, 2 times. We need answers, and we need them all laid bare on the table. No more secrets, no more shadows. If this was a computer and it was overrun to this extent with hacks and malware, you'd shut it down, wipe it clean, and restore it to factory settings. That's what we need. A total reboot of the system back to its constitutional roots where the people call the shots. So, what do you do today? You wait for that Epstein list to come out. And if it doesn't come out, you politely say, hey, how come? How come it's not out? You politely ask every name, no excuses, the Diddy list, the facts on Nord Stream, Benghazi, and everything else. All of it. It's your role as the boss of this government. They work for you.